we start heading back, and like every exit that we need to take is blocked. It's like
fire.
one of those like highway. It's one of those highway exits where the exit lane to get off is 1.5 miles backed up.
Yeah.
And we keep going down. It's like, we'll go to the next exit, and they're all just like, something's happening. There's fires set at the exits or something. Right. So I drive way out of our way to go to an exit. Finally, like 2 miles out of the way, we're like, we'll just take this one. We're stuck. Do that. And we start getting back, and it's about like 1.5 mile distance. I know traffic stories aren't interesting, but it's 1.5 mile distance.
I am interested because this is a different life than I would.
This is a different life. Well, yeah, it's like, and you've been to my place, I think, in the middle of Hollywood,
yes.
right, smack dab.
Yes, I have.
And it's like a 15-minute drive, either on the highway or just the side roads back from her place to my place, and it takes us 3 hours.
Holy shit!
And it's like everywhere I go, it's standstill. The roads are locked down. And Hollywood Boulevard is just blocked off. Like it's a major east-west road that just cuts across the city. And you just can't get it. So all these cars, I'm taking like side roads. I'll take a side road that leads after 30 minutes back to the main road. They're all like detours that don't go anywhere. They all just like dump you back into the funnel.
Yep.
And I'm screaming. And also we have Samson.
And Samson is screaming as well.
Samson's in the car, and he's been cute. But after a couple hours, he's starting to get antsy, so he's also screaming. And Heidi's just keeping me calm, and I'm losing my goddamn shit. Turns out that yesterday was the LA Pride Parade.
Oh.
And they shut down. Oh, right. You're like, oh, Pride Parade, good for them. But they like,
and you're like, God damn it ruined my day.
It ruined my day. Like, it really did.
They can have 1 square of sidewalk. That's it.
It's just like, I was frustrated. Like, there was no signs posted anywhere. Like, there was nothing notified. There was no like street closures. It's just
like no announcement for it.
No, it just keeps happening in my fucking neighborhood where they'll just have like, oh, hey, even a private event, like a private DJ show will shut down Hollywood for 6 blocks. We put up no notifications. Nothing to let you know that like, hey, maybe stay indoors for a couple hours. Like, just enjoy your time at home. And then I gotta get out of this fucking town. This middle part of Hollywood is just goddamn
where shit just happens.
Constant. It's bureaucracy, shutdowns. I'm happy.
You have those Hummer cops that give you tickets.
There's also horse cops at the same time. So what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just need some sort of like,
they're working both ends of the bell curve of environmental friendliness. There, they got the Hummers on the one end, and they got the horse on the other side.
That's all I'm asking. Like, I would love an excuse for like, hey, if the LA government could like put out signs like, hey, today's a stay home day. You have all the reason to stay in and just like get high and play video games. Now we're telling you to do that.
Now that it's legal there, there should be like weed holidays where they have to
weed holidays stay in, yeah. Or
they would. Oh,
I was gonna say, or hey, heads up, if you want, walk down the block and there's a bunch of crazy gay people in Brazilian costumes, and you can have a great time.
Right?
Like, I also would have gone to that. Like, but they didn't tell me. I'm real sad.
Yeah, like I mean, what would it take to be like? Can you guys just run a Twitter account? Like, it doesn't need to be an app.
Exactly. That's all I want is a Twitter account. I can't find one. I always find this out like the day of where I'm stuck in traffic. Oh yeah. Oh, it was Bratwurst Fest. I guess I didn't know. Cool. Just have a Twitter bot that says like random updates, like, hey, a park permit was given for this thing, this date. Like, a bot can just do it, and then people will just naturally sort through it and retweet the ones that are important to know. Like, hey,
yes,
LA Pride Parade, bring your cock socks, let's go. Like,
wait, cock socks?
Yeah, you know cock socks, like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, cock socks, gotcha. I follow.
No, that's like too dude for
gay pride
cock
parade.
Sock is too dude for Pride. Pride, you want to look wonderful.
You think if I wore that, they'd shun me?
That's too aggro.
No, they would accept you. I mean, that's what Pride's all about. But like, I mean, the fashion of it. I mean, it is really a gym sock on your.
I don't know.
No, hold on. I didn't say gym sock. You guys added gym sock.
That's where the cock sock is.
You said cock sock, and my mind thought the 2-stripe gym sock.
Okay, I was thinking like a nice Argyle or something.
Now that's
like,
fancy. That's dressing your cock up.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
All right. Okay. What? How about this dress sock?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say cock frock.
What is that?
It's a frock. It's a frock. It's a fancier covering. It's a frock. Cock frock.
I'm into it.
Okay, yeah, it's got little frills around the side, right?
A frock's like a dress, you know?
It's like a little bit more of a merkin.
It would probably have to be a very loose sock to be a cock frock.
I'll be honest.
So if the city could just let us know when we can wear our socks.
It's safe to go
That'd be
outside
great.
with your cock frock today.
I'll be honest, guys.
Accept
Can we
it.
talk about? I'm a little impressed that like the Chili Peppers were constantly playing with just cocks on their socks on their cocks all the time. Like that's not falling off ever. That's not like
They had to have some adhesive in that situation, right?
Are they staying hard the whole time? That's crazy.
So Jen went to an all-male review for a bachelorette party, and
Yeah.
they can't show a wiener. A wiener can't just be flopping around on stage.
Really?
No, they got to.
That is crazy.
I've seen some porn videos that suggest otherwise.
Yeah,
but
well,
okay.
yep. It's a fantasy world, Chad.
Okay.
Chad, you've seen some porn videos where it starts where a lady goes to see a man
No,
dance.
I mean, fine. If you guys want me to spell it, yeah, there's entire series, websites of videos where it's not my fetish, so I don't really like dig into it, but I've seen it. Where it's like
you just got your finger on the pulse of all.
yeah, I got my
fetishes.
finger on the pulse of the porn. It's like a female bachelorette party, but cameras are also there for some reason. It's clearly fake.
WatchMeDance.com, your favorite website.
Yeah, or whatever. And it'll be like, hey, what if this was just a fun, feisty thing of like a male stripper, and then we just started having an orgy? Like that's kind of what the porn.
Oh, I
fetish
have
is.
seen those before.
I
That's
see.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so they. So they can't show a ween off. So Jen told me
Yeah.
they have a weird wrapping. It's like an electrical tape they put around their
No,
dick.
I don't like that.
It's electrical
I don't like
tape,
that.
but they maintain a hard penis the whole time. And I said to her, I was like, "That's impossible," but they do.
I would think not to get too gross. This is very pretty gross. I would like to think that at some point the electrical tape is kind of creating like a boner cast. Where like you're no longer in charge of if you have a boner or not. It is basically like locking you into that phase.
It's like a mummy in there. It's all shriveled inside, but the form is maintained.
Just I don't know, for some reason picturing like a bachelorette party with a dude in an electric taped sock,
Yeah,
cock sock, and then just inside has a mummy penis. It's really like
just shooting out little dust motes.
that's like art, dude. That's like some sort of art presentation. Yeah.
I just think I just had the realization that male dancing is just boner dancing. It's like just like put up a sign outside of like a little shack that just says boner dancing, and it's the same thing. A man is inside, he's dancing with his boner. You can watch.
It's kind of like a parade leader with a baton, but the baton is attached to the man's hip.
It
and
comes all back around with pride.
Wait, hold on. Are we saying all male dancing is boner dancing?
Yeah.
Male dancing is boner dancing.
You're right. You know what? I will say that high school Chad had a lot of, not problems. I was real cool. But like, high school dancing in my school was very much like that. God, this sounds so white.
Chad
hip-hop
was
dancing.
really cool, guys.
I was really cool. I need to explain it. Really cool. Definitely super cool. Everyone definitely loved me.
Please explain this hip hop dancing that you did
Well,
in
like,
school.
Well, there's just like, it was like low level hip hop dancing where it was really just grinding. It was just like dry humping.
Sure. It was Save the Last Dance, right? Was everything.
But it wasn't, but Save the Last Dance was like good. Save the Last Dance was like actually doing moves and like, and coordination and choreography. This is literally just like
it's boner dancing. You're saying
it was just excuses for like, hey, you have very sheer fabric on. I also have like a tux pants. We are literally just rubbing genitals against each other with little movement. And I kept going like, this seems like this should be illegal. And that was me. I guess I was the dad from Footloose. I didn't.
Right. You were at high school age. You were the dad from Footloose.
I was like, this seems inappropriate. This isn't dancing. This is just listen. Everyone go home and have sex if you want to have sex.
Have you
Chad,
guys
you started this story by saying that you were cool, and then the story was about you saying, "I'm sorry, but this dancing is too much."
Exactly. That's what I wanted.
We have to shut down dancing.
Have you guys seen?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that hump dancing? That's like extreme daggering. Daggering is what it's called.
Oh, I've seen daggering. I don't believe is real.
Daggering is like wrestling meets boner dancing.
Yes,
Wrestling.
You're right.
Because they do like fucking dives off of top ropes onto each other.
Wow.
Yeah, Daggerin is like, hey, what if you somehow didn't give sex education to a bunch of people,
right?
And then you just let them go at it? That's what Daggerin would be like, just trying to figure it out.
When the bonds of society crash and religion is no longer holding us back, this daggering will be our highest art form.
Kids are just going to be daggering all the time once religion's gone.
all I can think about is daggering fail compilations.
The Wikipedia for daggering is the definition for it feels very like shady or throwing shade on it. Daggering is a form of dance originating from Jamaica. The dance incorporates dry sex, wrestling, and other forms of frantic movement.
There you go.
Whoever wrote that did not like daggering.
Oh no, the best sentence is the best part. This dance is not a traditional dance.
It is of recent origin, therefore it is not good. Also, every time it says daggering, it's in quotations as if it's not a real thing. Cool.
There's a lot of passive aggressiveness in this.
Oh,
Wikipedia
hold
entry.
on.
Sounds like somebody got daggered and lost.
I'm sorry, is this a real phrase? Some argue that it's roughly the equivalent of the Caribbean's, quote, cabin stabbing, another style of music and dance.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it.
And then I immediately thought it was said Captain Stabbin', that really old porn site. I really spent too much time on the internet.
I know that's a classic, Chad. Captain Stabbin'. That is like a high art for porn.
Did Captain Stabbin' end with them throwing the girls
they
overboard?
Abandoned them, yes.
Did they kill those women?
They abandoned them in open water, yes.
It was Bang Bus, but they just drew the women out to the water.
Into open water.
They might die. That's horrible.
That's such a weird fetish. That's such a weird detail.
No, what do you guys don't finish having sex and you're like, I wish I could throw you into water right now.
The water.
You don't think
I always felt bad enough for Bang Bus where they would abandon them. Like, that seems really mean. Like, I don't know why you need to not give them a ride home. Like, what part of that?
The ride home's just cruel, but the water is hot. I don't know what you're talking about.
But the Captain Stabbin's like, we're in international water, nothing's illegal here, and then you just throw them over.
It's not so much that I want to throw my partner overboard after sex. It's more so that I want to drive a boat really fast away.
That's the speedboat part that you want, and you need something for scale so that you know how fast you're going.
Exactly,
and a person is perfect for that.
Yeah, I what I'm saying is I understand it. I understand.
Yeah,
you're victorious in your you and your partner have just come together in a beautiful, loving way, and now as a display of your love,
yes,
you want to shoot off in a boat just to show, like, as a representation of how much you love.
This is how fast I can go. You've mated with this fast being.
I'm a cheetah. I'm a cheetah in the water.
This is what my semen just did. Here I go. Oh my god, it's just pulling out, guys. I swear, that's just what's happening in the world. Is that you just have to pull out a little bit. Man riding a boat very fast, he is a seaman. Okay.
Yep, he is a seaman. It's just a it's all connected, Dom. Everything's connected.
Welcome to Goosebuds.
For some reason, I'm really happy going like, okay, well, this is a famous book that we're covering. If someone's like ever going to try out the podcast, they're going to download Monster Blood 3. It sounds great.
They're gonna dive into the Monster Blood trilogy first.
They didn't even call it the trilogy, did they? Did they have the smarts to do? Did he? Okay.
Well, it's interesting that we're talking about all these fetishes because I couldn't help but think of giganticism.
Oh, there's a gigantism fetish in this? Yeah.
I would say this is where someone may find that they like that if they read this book.
Not only that, there's a little bit of Vore in this, I'll be honest.
Wait, there's Vore in this? Oh my god, there is Vore in this. It took me a second. Holy shit, you're right.
Yep.
So
this awakened something in someone, this book at one point.
So if this is your first Goosebuds, welcome. This is it, guys.
This is pretty much all it is, actually. This is a pretty solid representation.
If you don't know what Goosebuds is, it's a show where we go through each book and try and find the Vore moment so that you don't have to.
Yes.
We found one.
It's like Mr. Skin, but Mr. Vore.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Teeth.
Mr. Teeth.
It's like that other pornographic thing I know.
I know. We keep going back to porn today. What is the deal?
I don't know. It's. I think we're just all kind of like, hey, you guys remember that thing, right? Like, we're all just like kind of testing the waters.
Yeah. Well, Dom, you totally made this sexual too. There's been a lot of sexual tension in today's episode.
How did I make this sexual?
You talked about how it's an introduction to giganticism or whatever.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, but like each thing we've gone back to and what we're talking about is porn. And yes, we're all guilty of it. Here we are. Well,
all right, I'm gonna share this. This happened this week. We can maybe cut this. Yo, you want to fuck this cartoon?
Yep.
I went too deep on the internet reference.
Chad, have you been to a pornographic website? We are done.
I don't know if you're allowed to read children's books anymore, dude.
Yeah,
you're right, man. This podcast is gonna get banned. Should we talk about this child story?
Let's talk about this children's book. This third in a trilogy. I think it went further than this too. I think there was a Monster Blood.
There's
4,
a Monster
right?
Blood 4. Yeah, I'll be honest. As it was happening, I almost forgot that this was like the exact same kids.
That it is, right? Evan is.
Yeah.
What is his name? Evan what?
Evan, dumb, boring boy.
You see,
Peters,
well,
probably,
I
right?
was about to say that this is the longest story I know that stars an Evan, and no offense to Evans out there, but I think this is maybe telling us why. He does nothing. He stinks.
Evan Ross, yeah, Evan. Okay, so here's my first note about this book, and I wrote this note down after the book was done. Did Evan ever have a personality in any of these, or is he just because he's got no personality in this?
He
book.
feels so neutral in this, for
like
sure.
most Goosebumps kids. He doesn't want to get into trouble, yet somehow a bully hates him, and there's some magic that he comes across.
Yeah, there's magic and extreme science too.
Oh yes, I would say that this book has at least that wrinkle to it, is that it has science cousin.
Science cousin. It's kind of a new Goosebumps edition. The science cousin's kind of a new twist.
I mean, I would say that is welcome in the Monster Blood series, because the previous two books are always like Evan, and then what's the friend's name?
Andy in this one. I don't know if it's always Andy. Is it always Andy?
So
it's
I
always
was
Andy,
trying to read through Wikipedia. I think they come in and out. Like there's one character that's like not in 2 that's in this one or something. I was trying to scan the Wikipedia right before.
No. You know what? I'm looking at it right now. Andy is in all the first 3 ones.
Yeah. So,
okay.
So I mean, after the last debacle with Monster Blood, Andy pretty immediately after she appears in this book, she says, "Hey, maybe you should give him some Monster Blood. Maybe he should eat some." It's like
they pretty quickly reopen Pandora's box.
They learn your fucking lesson.
We should set the stage right before, because I agree. This is a huge plot point of the Pandora's can of
Pandora's
Monster
can
Block.
of yes,
Yeah, there's like a large part of this book is just the kids going, Kermit's my cousin Kermit. His name is Kermit.
Science cousin is Kermit. Yeah,
science cousin is real annoying. He blames me for everything, but also he's like a genius. He seems to be a genuine genius.
He's 100% a genius, yes.
He's actually he's not one of those kids that has like a chemistry kit and is just making red stains everywhere. He genuinely is making like a shrinking potion and makes a dog not have anti-dog hiccup potion.
Which dogs don't get hiccups, all right?
No, dogs don't get hiccups, no. Dogs can't look up. Like one of those kind of things.
I really love that trope of a kid who's a genius, and he is a profound genius to the point where like he do you remember in Big Hero 6 when that kid debuted? He's like, here's my invention, and it's the greatest thing that's ever been created.
He went from zero to genius in the course of it.
Best genius ever, basically.
Right. I created nanobots.
Yes, and that's what is happening in this book. This kid is the best genius ever, making shit that's never been made before.
Right.
And
on summer vacation.
And his name is Kermit.
And the kids are even like, you should commercialize this. Like they at least have the sense of like, hey, you put this on my little mosquito bite, and for some reason only the mosquito bite went away. My arm didn't shrink too. I thought that was kind of weird, but it's like, you're a genius. You could sell this. He's like, I don't know. I don't really know what I put in it. Like, it's just kind of this crazy. Like,
he's a classic scientist, man. He's not paying attention. He's just creating. He's just riffing.
Just pouring things in, I guess. But like, their whole thing is just Kermit seems kind of cool. Like, he seems fine. I just want to bring this up. Like, so Kermit's a little annoying cousin, and he's kind of helping them though. And then, like, I feel like he just switches, he just turns on a dime into being a piece of shit.
Okay,
like, he almost...
So here's the thing about Kermit, is he's just like an amalgamation of Science Dad from the what was the Science Basement one with the
don't stay out of the basement.
Stay out of the basement.
A Goosebuds classic.
A Goosebuds
number
classic.
2, great cover.
You got Science Dad, and you got the girl, the sister from the last book, Cuckoo Clock of Doom, who was just a total shithead, and you mix them together. That's all that Kermit is.
Yeah. I just feel like for an 8-year-old or whatever he is, it's just kind of like... I have this moment, this note I kept taking down, and I don't want to ever belabor a Goosebumps point. It's just like, it's not interesting that Kermit's not on their side. Like, it's just kind of this like thing of tension of, like, so whatever, the dog gets the hiccup, the removing foam, which I was actually really worried about that dog. Like, I was super worried about that dog.
It was scary that they were doing tests on the dog. Yeah.
Tests on the dog. It was a sweet, beautiful St. Bernard. And then it's like, it gets energy, I guess. So it's like, it's destroying everything.
It made it a puppy. Okay. It briefly made it a puppy.
Yeah, but just for the record, it didn't turn it into a puppy. It just like acted like a puppy.
Mental puppy, yeah.
Mental puppy. And it destroys the basement. And it's not even Evan's dog. I think it's Kermit's dog.
Yeah.
So there's this moment of like, the aunt shows up and it's like, yeah, it's the dog's fault. Like, obviously. Like, it's so clear. And then Kermit's like, Evan was teasing the dog and he ruined it. It's like, but why? Like, what? There's no, hey, if this dog messes up one more thing, Aunt May says we're going to send him to the pound or whatever.
Guys, we were all, okay, I know, Chad, you were talking about how cool you were in high school with the sex dancing and all that stuff. But look, let's all admit that we were a little bit nerdy, a little bit indoor kids, right?
Yeah,
can we all admit that?
Yeah,
we can all admit that. I mean, like we had our moments, but we were nerds. You needed an ally. Kermit needs allies, and I don't believe him when he's throwing his allies under the bus like this, because you need those when you're 8-year-old genius in the basement making crazy.
It's more fun when they're friends.
Is this what Chris Hardwick did to people?
I don't even see the metaphor. I just like that we brought up Chris Hardwick.
Well, he's like this reverse bully where he's constantly being like, I'm a nerd. Here is all my nerd stuff. And then he just randomly is lying to get his friend in trouble. Not saying that Chris Hardwick did that, but as we know,
you're just asking if Chris Hardwick
I'm asking what heroes this man has, and maybe he has this poster in his room. I sent it to you guys.
I'm not saying any of this, but I'm just asking: did Chris Hardwick murder someone? Did he maybe drop a body buried underneath Hearst Castle? These are just questions I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he's done something. So,
hold on.
I think
should we cut this? Should we cut this?
I don't know.
Should we cut this Chris Hardwick stuff?
No, this is all great. I love it.
Kevin will make the call. Kevin, leave it
in. If we get sued by Chris Hardwick, so much good advertisement for our podcast.
I just don't want to have an opinion sometimes, but I guess it's
You haven't said an opinion. You've just asked questions.
I have just asked questions. But seriously, does Kermit have this poster on his wall in his bedroom? You tell me, guys. I sent it on Discord.
Which poster? Let me look.
All right. Well,
my God.
It is a Photoshop of Albert Einstein as if he's Heath Ledger's Joker, and it says, "Why so genius?"
That is the most brilliant mashup that's ever been.
That is in a Spencer's Gifts so much.
Is he a tortured genius? Is that what it is? Is that why he has to lash out?
I don't know. Let's not get into how many people romanticize the Joker. It really bothers me. Okay, hold on. Monster Blood.
Should we talk about? Let's talk about the main plot and then the plot of this book.
The main plot
of Monster Blood. I thought you were going to lay out Monster Blood and what it is.
Oh no, sure. I mean, just like the general thing is, it gets you real big. Like that's the general plot.
It's big juice, yeah.
But the thing Dom was originally bringing up, is like Pandora's can, is Kermit needs to be the worst suddenly just so they can decide to open Monster Blood and prank him.
You're right. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, because Conan, who we'll get into, real sick puppy, Conan was the perfect. You already had the reason.
Yes,
you already had the reason.
Yes, Conan the Barbarian character, who I was like, wait, hold on, are these the same characters? Because I remember the same sentence of his name was Conan because he was like Conan the Barbarian, and again. Like last time, I was like, I get it. You don't need to spell that out, RL. Like, I get the joke. Like, I get the reference.
Well, I mean, a lot of kids who were reading Goosebumps probably had no idea who Conan the Barbarian
was. I'm saying, even if you don't, you'd be like, yeah, Conan, that sounds tight. That sounds really tough. Yeah. Like, I get it.
I think he's just spelling it out for the kids.
If I can add this, though, to the Conan thing.
Yeah.
And the Andy thing, before we move on, I did this note written down. I am losing my mind about RL describing the clothing that these kids wear. It is so unimportant to the story. It never comes into play.
But it makes me know that they're like me.
But, alright, so I wrote this down. This is describing when Andy shows up in one of the scenes. Because Conan was also describing what he was wearing, so I was thinking about this.
Andy's real cool, go on.
Andy's real cool! Andy didn't dress like most of the other kids in their 6th grade class. She liked bright colors. A lot of bright colors. Today, she wore a yellow vest over a magenta t-shirt and orange day-glow shorts. When Andy moved to Atlanta in the beginning of the school year, some kids made fun of her colorful clothes, but they didn't anymore. Now everyone agreed that Andy had style, and a few kids were even copying her look. Why is this important?
Because Andy's cool.
You like Andy too, you little kid.
Like, that's the subtext, I guess.
It's great.
It's just so unnecessary. Like, you don't have to use clothing. You could totally say, like, Andy was really funny in class and said great takedowns of teachers. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing in this book. Again, Evan doesn't have any personality. And, like, maybe I'm supposed to remember from Monster Blood 1 and 2 what Evan's into. Like, yeah. I feel like in each book he tries to have the kid, like something or talk about something that's, like,
yes,
a part
I
of their
love
personality.
Pogs.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. Something. Evan's got nothing. He's, like, the most, like, detail we get about his personality is he doesn't like green slimy things because of Monster Blood.
He's got PTSD, post-traumatic slime disorder.
Yes, yep.
But you had the great point of, like, exactly of Conan the bully who beats him up because they look at his yard, which is kind of a weird.
He's real sick. That kid has problems.
Kid has problems. Really needs to be in counseling and therapy, and hopefully he can get better. I love you, Conan.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a weird thing. Like, clearly he's going to beat you up no matter what, but like, hey, you looking at my yard? Like a 12-year-old that cares about lawn maintenance.
It's not even
Alabama bluegrass. You get off of it.
It's not even fucking up his yard. It's not even walking across his yard. It's literally, he pops up from like Wilson from the other side of the fence. It's like, you're looking at my yard. And he's fucking crazy. Conan is crazy.
Are we talking about Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace or Wilson from Home Improvement?
Either one would work.
Okay, sure.
But I was thinking Home Improvement.
I was just thinking it was kind of strange how Chad sympathized with Conan's struggles, but Kermit, I think you really put him on the cross there.
No. I think Kermit is actually really cool, and in fact, like, the book kind of pulls away from him being dangerous. Like, there's a couple moments where Kermit's like, oh, I'm worried my little cousin's to make a bomb. And there's that weird, dumb prank where Kermit starts mixing chemicals. Like, oh no, it's gonna explode. And then, like, Evan hides, and it's just, haha, we were fooling you, you dummy. And I'm like, I don't know, like, why would do the fake out? Wouldn't that be more interesting if, like,
yeah, there was like Kermit... that subplot that they totally like left hanging that Kermit might have been the Unabomber. Remember that? They kept finding all those reams of paper with crazy rantings all over them in his basement.
Yeah, yeah, he was like both the Zodiac Killer and his name.
There was some deep shit they were hiding up with Kermit.
He needs help. Get better, Kermit. Get better. Why so genius indeed?
Take better care of yourselves, guys. It's okay to seek mental help. It's totally fine. We're all, we all need help. But Conan's a dick. And it should have totally been like, yeah, let's feed him monster blood or put it...
Right. Conan was already a crazy son of a bitch throughout this whole thing. He's a seriously sick bastard. And
let's put it in some food and make him have to poop real hard or whatever. Like, there's something.
He beats up Evan and throws Andy into a tree. And that should have been enough reason.
He throws
Andy into a tree.
Oh my
He throws her in a tree. And that should have been enough to feed him monster blood, right, guys?
But instead it's like Kermit, they're not even going to feed Kermit monster blood. It's like, let's just mess up one of his experiments, which to me, maybe I missed the detail of what he said. It seemed like the experiment they mess up is just him making cookies. Like he's just making batter for something.
Yeah.
And again, nothing's really happened in the plot. This is like halfway through the book.
The whole plot is that Evan has to babysit his cousin Kermit after school for like $1 an hour, some shitty rate or something like that. And he's real upset about it, but he's saving up for a Walkman. And we're in peak 90s because he talks about Walkman, Dayglow clothes, and rollerblades in the first couple of chapters here. So we're deep into 90s stuff. And that's it. And then we keep showing up to the house, as you guys have mentioned, and Kermit's doing something crazy. He fucks something up and then blames it on Evan. Basically, that's the plot, right?
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, we'll open up this can of monster blood, this foreign monster blood sent by my aunt or whatever from the last book, which I thought was going to be like, oh, this is a different mixture of monster blood. It'll do something crazy.
Right.
It'll give you 2 dicks, whatever, like something weird.
Yeah, some weird hemipene slime, yeah.
And instead, no, they just mix it into the dough. And I was like, why do they keep fucking talking about this chocolate bar? There's this weird subplot.
That was a weird moment. Real quick, before the final straw that makes them use this is that Kermit creates forever weed and gives it to them. He gives them the laughing potion, and it's forever
right.
weed. It's just
I never thought about
weed.
it. It is forever weed. Yeah, he gives them laughing potion, and they're like, "This sucks." Like, oh, that sounds great. Please do that.
Yeah, they're like cracking up, they're having a great time. They did marijuana in this book. The kids did marijuana in this book. and
You're
then
totally right.
And then Conan beats them up because they're laughing at him and looking at his lawn.
Again, do it to Conan. Do it to Conan.
Yes. Anyways, so they come back the next day to put the monster blood into Kermit's latest experiment, Chad, which was the stuff you were talking about. Go on. I'm sorry.
Well, no, they just keep talking about this, like, also in a book series that loves to name drop copyright things for whatever reason. This is not a Snickers bar.
I know.
Or
I noticed
a Milky Way.
I noticed
or
that.
What candy bar do we think R.L. Stine likes? I think he likes a super safe, soft Three Musketeers bar. I think he loves it.
This was a crackle bar, though. This is a
crackle bar. Yeah, so it's like, but it's a Choc-O-Lick, L-I-K, and it's never, I don't know why that sounds so fucking gross to me. Like, I think the lick part.
Yeah, the lick definitely throws it off.
I'm picturing kids licking a chocolate bar, and that's so disgusting. They're like, hands just covered in like saliva and chocolate. Kids are fucking gross. I hate them.
It's disgusting.
Anyway. They're like, they keep talking about it, and like Kermit's like, please let me have some of the Choco-Lick bar. And they're like, no, you can't have any. And it's all just so that when the concoction swells up with monster blood, as it blows up, Evan's like, oh, cool, and takes a bite of Choco-Lick while it explodes so that the monster blood goes in his mouth.
He decides that he has to eat the chocolate bar really quick before the explosion happens. I don't know.
As the explosion's like happening, he's like, well, this might be my last moment. I better eat this chocolate bar.
That's literally what he decides.
And so then the monster blood goes in his mouth. But like, we all see where the rest of the story is going. It just seems like there's so many other ways. Like, let's follow your plot real quick, Paul, where they do it to Conan.
Sure.
And like, we're totally gonna put this in the chocolate bar, which I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna put it in the chocolate.
Yeah, they make a peace offering to Conan to try and like
full of monster blood. Yeah, and Conan's like, I don't trust you. Never take food from other people. Conan's real smart because he's Conan the Barbarian. And he makes Evan eat it. That would be terrifying, and I would get why he turns big.
Yep.
But no, it's got to be this weird, like, oh no, the cookie batter's getting too big.
And then Evan eats it, and then we have this weird situation where he's literally the first like couple chapters of him being big are him just freaking out about the fact that he's being big and not doing anything about it and growing too big to get out of the house.
Oh, I will say this is the first time I think an actual Goosebumps book ever scared me. I'm super claustrophobic. So this plot point of they're in the basement.
Yeah.
And he's growing bigger and bigger and saying, like, I head scraped against the ceiling. The whole time I'm like, get out of the basement, you idiot. Get out. Like, talk about this outside. Like, get out of there.
Right.
And like, he can't climb out, and they're like trying to push him up the stairs. That is actually terrifying.
It was, yeah.
Like he might die down there, or he'll get squashed and smushed or something. Genuinely freaky. But instead they just like, He's mad.
It was a scary moment for sure.
He picks up the dog like a cat. They picks up the giant Saint Bernard for a moment. I'm like, wait, how big are you? Because you're 8 foot.
I was having a hard time judging the sizes when he was growing.
If you pick up a Beethoven, either the human or the dog, and you can cradle it in one arm, that means you're like 20 feet tall, I feel like.
Yeah, like if you're like 8 feet tall, you're like a big basketball player.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to pick up and cradle a German German Basset Hound or whatever. Yeah, totally.
I also thought that their prank on Kermit of putting the monster blood in there was destined to fail because no matter what you do, you're fucking punking yourself, kids. You're pulling out the monster blood. It was obvious from the beginning, and then it didn't dawn on them that they were punking themselves until he was eating the monster blood. He's like, "Oh wow, I fucked this up."
Yeah, they also like go back and forth in a really frustrating way where Kermit does something annoying, like Andy wants to use the monster blood. Evan goes, totally, we're totally using the monster blood. Chapter end. Next chapter, I've changed my mind about the monster blood. We're not doing it. There's too many chapters of like Evan having to get convinced. That's just bad story writing. This is like really, it's bad pacing.
The first half of this book is very, very slow.
Very slow. And it's like, I don't know, once he's on board, just like have him stick to it.
But then once he eats the monster blood, this book takes off and it gets violent and scary in like a real way.
Yeah, so then, this is what I will say. So this book goes crazier than any of the other books have gone in terms of like actual, this isn't a dream. Like the stakes have spiraled into like, I feel like all these stories are always like, man, if the cops just showed up or if like the parents would get home, this would actually just sort themselves out or whatever.
And that's what happens in this one.
I guess. Yeah, but still, like, it gets kind of crazy, right? So, like, Paul, what you're talking about. Why don't you continue through on the plot?
Well, so he grows big. He climbs out of the basement with the help of his cousin and his friend, and they jam him out. He wrecks the house on the way out, too, which is never talked about.
No, he destroys a wall.
He completely destroys a wall, maybe load-bearing, and gets out of the house. And then Conan's out there about to assault 2 children with a baseball bat.
That's right. He's just gonna kill kids. He really needs therapy.
He's a very sick kid. He's a very, very sick kid. It's very
love you, Conan. Get better, Conan.
Terrifying. What's wrong with this boy? And he's just about to assault them, and then our boy Evan, who has no personality, has now become a tyrant of size and begins to pick on him. He throws Conan into a tree.
Does he throw him into the tree or does he place him gently in the tree? He places
him gently, I guess. But he gives back what Conan dished out the day before to Andy.
Yes,
throwing him in the tree.
Totally.
And he throws Conan into the tree.
But being thrown into a tree by a teenager and a giant teenager, I would say, is vastly different velocities.
Yes, you're right.
So if a giant throws a boy into a tree, he may die. He probably dies.
The chances are good you're not going to catch a limb. You're probably going to fall out of the tree and break something, and possibly it's your skull. Which if you're Conan and you already have these problems, it's only going to make things worse for Conan. It's sad. It's very sad.
It's sad. But come on,
it's real sad. I really feel bad for Conan and his plight. I agree. So we have this problem now of like, he's actually like a giant. I'd say it sounds like he's 15 to 20 feet tall. I can't tell.
He steps on a car and smashes it.
Yeah, right. So that's got to be at least like 30 feet, I would say.
I mean, he has to get as big as he is on the front of the book where he's stepping on a playground.
It's a great cover, by the way.
Great cover, famous cover, totally. So let's say that's what it is, right?
If he's that big, I'm saying his foot right there is probably like what you say. That's like a 6 or 5 foot. You know, so I'm gonna say he's at least 30 feet tall, maybe 50 feet tall.
Can someone do the math on like what the average size of a car is versus like how much force you would need to crush it? And let's figure out how big this boy is.
I think the best way to do it would be to take the average size of a playground, like a swing set, and then you would the average size of however old Evan is, that a boy's foot,
Yes.
And then you would just scale it. You would scale it and say he's that many times.
This is how MIT figures out giant
right?
size, too.
Right?
Oh,
giant
totally,
size
yeah.
is foot size. I mean, that we have reference on the cover. We have a swing set, which we know how big that is. And a foot.
There's a ton of reference points. There's a ton of data. We can figure this out.
I think we can crunch the numbers, guys.
I just did the math. It's 77 foot.
Okay, 77 feet tall.
There we go.
Yeah, 77 foot.
So
we have this giant boy.
And he's smashing things. He's going nuts.
And this is finally where we're actually getting some wish fulfillment of like how cool this would be to be a giant boy. I thought it'd be cool. And
he's into it. Evan's into it.
Yeah, and someone says like, hey, you could maybe be a superhero. We'll call you Super Evan, which is not really the greatest name for a giant boy. It doesn't really evoke what he does.
No.
I don't know, like call him Evan Enormous or something. I don't know.
Evan the Mountain.
Yeah, just spitballing we could call him here. If he's going to join the West Coast Avengers, he's going to get a cool name like,
like Evanescence.
Evanescence. Or I was going to say like Puberty. You could just call him Puberty. That would be his like a superhero name.
Puberty.
What about Tree Toss? Because he throws villains in
the
tree.
Tree Toss. All of his moves is always
Tree Toss. Toss me into that fort.
Every time. I love it.
Well, way to go, Dom. You did it. You named him.
So he does all that, right? And he's like, yeah, but I don't know. Superheroes never get paid.
I'll go play baseball now.
I just want to add that feels like such a weird, like, wet blanket R.L. Stein joke to add of like, you're right. There's no money in being a superhero.
Yeah, I think Andy throws that like little piece of realism to
it.
it.
It's just like a financial responsibility joke. Like, okay, sure, cool, Evan, cool kids or whatever, Andy.
Yeah. So when he finds out he's not going to get paid, he's like, well, I'll go play baseball with all the baseball kids because he hears a game going on. He's like, and I never get picked. And he goes over.
And I already have a baseball bat from when I tried to keep killing him from killing those kids with a baseball bat.
Exactly. And so he goes over to the thing and he starts to play baseball with them. And the kids are having a great time. Everyone's happy, right?
Yeah, they're all like pretty nonplussed by like seeing Giant Evan. It's kind of weird.
They recover pretty well. They're all shocked and then they're like, oh, okay, we have a giant friend now.
Play ball.
Play ball. and they play baseball and he's killing it. He fucking hits like a 30-block home run. And then the cops show up and the firefighters and things get violent very quickly.
Well, yeah, so like he hits a baseball into the next county. And there's like a moment of like, yeah, no one even goes like, yeah, I could join the MLB or what, like all the fun of this, right? If you're a giant boy, you're probably allowed to join professional teams.
Yeah, I think Rookie of the Year has shown that freaks of medical nature are allowed to be in any sport.
If the doctors can't prove that this is a hologram or something, I think you're allowed to do it.
Yeah,
there's no rule against giant boys.
Show me the MLB rulebook, and I will prove to you that there is no rule against giant boys.
You know, Roger Goodell or whatever would be like, yeah, you could totally play for the Cowboys. That sounds great.
Yeah. They would.
There would be a bidding war. That's what they. Real quick sidebar. That's what they do in that movie Ed with that guy from Friends. He's in it, and I have a friend who.
Really?
Yes, that's the story I heard. Actually, I shouldn't tell a side story like that. Maybe we should cut that. Please don't include
No,
that.
It's in there. True Hollywood facts.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Anyway, no rule against giant boys.
No rule against giant boys. But
you're right. It escalates so fast, Paul.
The police show up and the firefighters are there, and they're kind of chill at first for like a split second. But then Conan, that sick son of a bitch, shows up and is like, he tried to kill me. He threw me in a tree. And then they fire torrential. They get their torrents of water out of their trucks and fire them at Evan. And Evan's hurt by them.
Oh yeah, and I want to add that, by the way, it's not. You say they come up to him pretty chill. It is described. I wrote this down. That the firefighters all run out holding axes grimly. They are ready to fight a fucking giant.
I forgot about the axes.
They are ready to go and kill this boy from the first big point of it.
And then they hunt him for the rest of the book.
They hunt him down. He just runs. I was trying to figure out, like, would fire hoses actually, like, fuck up a giant that bad, or would it just be like, ha, it tickles?
I think so. They can push entire crowds of men.
Yeah, they I would imagine they fucking hurt.
I guess they would. No, I mean, I just think he's so big that he would be able to shrug it off. But you're right, he'd be fine. I think the axes would kill him.
The axes would.
I think they just chop.
Oh, the
his legs.
hoses aren't going to kill him, but they're definitely hurting him. They're definitely.
Well, they described him as he runs away, like the water trailing behind my feet. I'm like, yeah, you're fine. Like you're good. It's not bullets,
Right.
But I guess it is.
But in my head, because the police officers show up and they're ready to shoot him. They have their guns. They're ready.
They have
to
their
kill
guns drawn, axes ready. They're going to cut this little boy's knees out. They're ready to go.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, a bullet will do some decent damage, even to a giant. And they're prepared to shoot him.
They're ready to shoot this boy without any questions asked. He can talk, but his voice is so deep that it's not clear if they can't understand him or just they're freaked out by it.
I think they're freaked out by it.
It's kind of weird that Conan can just get them all riled up immediately, and then Andy and Kermit do nothing. Like, they just kind of they never do a moment where they're like, stop, no, he's innocent. He's our friend. He's my brother or whatever. No, they just kind of let it happen.
Yeah, they're kind of just along for the ride.
Well, pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't know if you guys are feeling this, but I'm feeling a lot of parallels in the current discord in our country.
And
the plight of Evan in this moment. Okay.
The political cartoon is what? Evan is a giant is what? The economy?
He I would say he's the common man.
He's immigrants.
Yeah, and then Conan Trump and the firefighters and police the government
I was just going to say, are the firefighters and the police.
No, and the police. Andy is the Democratic Party doing nothing to stop it.
You're right.
Yes.
Sitting on the sidelines. Fuck.
Nailed it.
And Kermit is the internet. He's chaos.
He is the internet. He's fucking 4chan over there.
Oh, man, this is good political satire.
It's just chaos.
So I just want to say, the rest of the plot is pretty much it should be cool, but it's Evan just running and hiding behind lumber.
Yeah, they hunt him, and Evan hides. And then there's the ending sequence. Okay, normally in most of these books, the end sequence is probably the best part. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, this peters out so fast.
This peters out because he hides, and then the danger ends. And then it's merely them waiting in their backyard, in Kermit's backyard, as Kermit tries 3 times to create the right potion for him and just runs in the house, out of the house, in the house, out of the house, in the house, out of the house.
Oh,
finally got it. He shrinks.
I want to add the detail. It's not just he shrinks. It's this is the one. Oh no, it turns you blue.
Right. Right.
But then okay, maybe this will now add on to it where the cops will see him and be more sure he's a monster because he's transformed.
Yes, because then the second one gives him feathers.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, now he's going to be unrecognizable. Now I get.
Now he's a
somehow.
Yes, he's a giant blue chicken man. Yeah.
He's a giant blue chicken man. Now I get why they kill that son of a bitch. Shoot him down. But no, the cops don't find him, really. It's just them almost getting there. And Andy's like, the cops are here. They're opening the door. Now they're walking up the front porch. Hurry. It's just continually testing out potions. Yep. It sucks.
And then that's the end of the book. There was a couple of terrifying moments, the claustrophobia moment and the almost murdered by cops and firefighters moment. Those were scary.
You're skipping over the Vore.
Oh, the Vore. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about the Vore.
So the very end of the book is we're back to normal size. Everything's fine. The parents are back, but no one's questioning the giant wall. No one's
right. So, here's the thing. He uses a potion that Kermit makes that Kermit used earlier in the book to shrink Andy's mosquito bite away. To put it on the mosquito bite, and for some reason it only shrunk the mosquito bite and not the skin, and didn't continue to shrink her.
I know, it's such a problem.
Anyways, then he uses that to shrink Evan back and carry on, Chad.
Well, I was going to say, he carries on and shrinks back, but then he wakes up at night having a dream of being chased by Kermit rats, which is a strange foreshadowing of a moment that's going to happen 2 sentences later. And he wakes up and realizes he's a tiny boy in his bed. He he's not turned into a mouse. He's just mouse size.
Yes, and he has a mouse-sized voice. Yep.
And then another dog that has not been really mentioned. It's weird that there's 2 dogs. There's the Saint Bernard dog, Dogface. Really great name there.
Mm-hmm.
And then this other basset hound just runs up on the bed, hearing his tiny boy squeaking, and grabs the dog in his mouth. The dog grabs the boy in his mouth and carries him down there. And he's like, "Oh God, I'm being eaten." And he carries him down to his father as he's being vored.
Yep. He gets vored to death. It's terrifying. And the dad finds him, doesn't he, in his mouth?
Yeah, so it's implied almost like the boy will be alive at the end. But let's be honest, if your dad walks in and sees you being vored by the pet dog, that's an unrepairable friendship.
I think the dad's going to just chalk you up as a lost child. And just
Dad's going to let you go. He's not going to drag your little body out of your dog's mouth.
No.
Be like, I got to really see this. But my son mutilated.
No, I'll let the dog swallow that one.
Game's on at 15. I'm gonna deal with this later.
Yeah, it's kind of an anticlimactic ending because even with that, you're like, yeah, they have monster blood, so worst case scenario, he just eats more of it. They'll be fine.
Yeah, you could have just given him some. I thought he was gonna get like horny for the monster blood and keep going back to it.
I'm addicted.
I thought he was gonna get addicted to monster blood. He was gonna keep like giant sizing himself, and he was gonna enslave Kermit to be his shrink potion monster. Who tags along and shrinks him back to normal when he needs to. And
it's like uppers and downers, literally uppers and downers. Yeah,
I thought we were
that.
gonna have an evil doctor situation. I thought that's what was gonna happen.
I think also the boy being giant and either staying that way and or at least fighting back and being hunted is a way more interesting dark ending than just like, I'm tiny. Like if he picked up that lumber he was hiding behind and was swinging it at cop cars, and then Andy was like, "No, that my dad was in that cop car. You killed my dad." Like that. Like just get it real heavy and dark.
Get real on it.
Just make it fucked. Yeah.
I got to see what happens in Monster Blood 4, though, guys. I don't know. I gotta see it.
They didn't make it, right? They didn't make 4.
4 exists.
No, 4 does exist, so it's not a trilogy.
No, well, it's a trilogy, but then it becomes a quad trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disappointing. As soon as there's 4, it's not as interesting. I would love to know if they carry it on where it's like, well, now me, a tiny boy, and Kermit the mad scientist, and Andy the cool kid are all fighting back on Monster Blood.
They're all in it, because I'm looking at the cover, and it looks like Scrub and Bubbles, but with, like, kissy slime monsters.
What?
Wait, what year did this come out?
1997.
All right, hold on. I'm looking up the cover. Hold on.
It's Scrub and Bubbles, but they're, like...
What are you talking about?
Sexy
Scrub
kiss
and
lines.
Bubbles.
Do you know what Scrub and Bubbles are? The thing that.
They're like slugs.
Chad
though.
doesn't clean his bathroom. He's never.
Okay.
No, when you said Scrub and Bubbles, I was like, they're like sentient. No, yeah, it's like little slime things.
Yeah, but with like sexy kiss mouses. Mouthes.
I'm gonna guess. Monster Blood becomes alien or something.
It's looking like it.
Some sort of like it'll be like an alien experiment mixes with Monster Blood.
This was a book that was put out later, like in the 2000s. Is this Goosebumps revisited or something?
Number 4 is 1997, so it was still in the heart.
No, I remember reading this based on this cover. I don't know what happens in it, but I remember reading it. It's a thing.
I like reading these books. I think I understand why I didn't read much as a kid. Okay. Because I would always try to read Goosebumps, and they're incredibly meandering, all of them. And the more I read these, I go, is this why I didn't read? Is because I bought the bright, colorful book, and it was just nothing was happening.
No, they're not. I had this thought too, and we love these books. We love these books. We love them like a disappointed father.
These books.
No, you love them like a disappointed father that could do better. They're bad. They're badly written, though. Like they're not well crafted stories.
The problem was there are ones that are very like that do work, right? And they go through a straight line and they tell a good little story and it's fun. But there's ones like this one where it just, you can tell he was kind of making it up as he went along. And there
imagine that's how he did all of them. He had to do one of these a month.
Yeah, and I think early on he might have had times where he was able to bust out a good one. But this one was definitely like a deadline rush job.
Yeah, this just feeds into my conspiracy that there's multiple writers, because there's a rush job. I think it applies to all of these on some basic level of a deadline.
Yeah.
Like, you have a month no matter what, so you're not really, this story needs a little more time to cook. Like, you're not really ever doing that.
Right.
But there's just general, like, how story structure works, and, like, payoffs and setups, and I don't know. There's just some of these books I'm like, I don't know if you know how stories go. Like, the hero's journey is always a thing. The hero should want something. It's like basic things.
Right.
Even if it's like, Evan hates Conan. Let's just throw us out. I'm sorry, this is super boring. This is like, no one likes me preach about stories. Let's say Evan hates Conan. Sure. The end of this story should at least be Conan gets his shit kicked in. If anything else happens, fine. But like, Evan goes through
Conan
a thing.
Conan at the end of this book becomes president and gets to command the police and the
Yeah,
firemen.
if anything, Evan's stronger than ever. It should be like, you get what you wanted, but at a price or having changed, right? So like, yes, he totally beats up Evan, or he goes to his house as a giant and smashes in through the bedroom wall, and he's like, Conan, I'm a god, fear me, you piece of shit, if you mess with any of my friends ever again, I'm gonna rip your bones apart.
Yep.
I'm gonna squeeze your body dead.
I'm gonna squeeze your body and turn it into a Go-Gurt, because Go-Gurt was probably out back then.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna shoot your skeleton out of your mouth like a Go-Gurt, and I'm gonna swallow it.
He says all of that, right? Then, if he's getting chased down by the police because he threatened a kid, or because someone saw them Go-Gurt a dude, he actually does it.
Chad, you say this like you already sided with Evan, like he was okay to do this.
No, I'm just saying, if he did that and then was hunted down by police, or like has to now have a penalty, that's like a general horror plot, right? Like, he got what he wanted, but he's now paid a price. And because most horror movies end with a downer moment, yes, now you're trapped as a giant, or you're being vored by your dog. Totally get it.
You're trapped as a giant, and everyone can see you when you're shitting.
Yes, totally. You have to shit out in the park, and everyone knows about it, and they go, oh, it smells so bad when Evan shits. Like, these all happen in a better story. That's a better story.
I just wish it was a book about a giant boy who had nothing to do. So he was like trying to entertain himself.
He was just bored and going through puberty at 70 feet tall.
And
that's really interesting.
And the community is kind of like, all right, we're dealing with it. You are just a little kid, but like, we'll respect it and you can exist with us. But then he'll do weird stuff where he's just like laying down in the park that's like in the center of the neighborhood, and he's just kind of like checking out what's going on in people's houses at night, and everyone's really uncomfortable. And he's just like, I'm laying down at the park at night. It's what I like to do. And everyone's like, Evan, fucking, we know you're not laying down at the park at night. You're like looking in our windows, you pervert. You fucking little gross kid. And he's like, it's not a sexual thing. He's just curious about like what's on TV.
Yeah.
What's on little TV? I don't get to watch TV anymore.
I do think at some point there's like, hey, Evan, there's that abandoned warehouse downtown. We've just made that your jerk off shed. Like, you just can't do that in public in front of all of us.
You can keep your cum corner in there.
Yeah, that's fine. We know you're a boy. We know you have 13-year-old urges. Just do it in there. We're just trying to live as a society right now, Evan. It's enough to handle you being giant. Like, we got to get through this.
I mean, his waist has to be something to be explored in this book. It's like, how do they deal? Like, what is the system that they set up for Evan to like relieve himself, you know?
They could use his poop as fertilizer for their crops. What if we said that this town turns into a utopia?
They could be the first organic farm in the
first organic farm, but they're like, we use all parts of the Evan to survive as a town. We
dug a hole for a giant little boy to shit in, and when he's done, we're gonna put the dirt on top.
And the crops are so good. It's Evan corn. We love it.
We have the best arugula in this town. Our arugula is so peppery and spicy and delicious.
Oh, how's your salad? How's your salad? Oh, it's good? Oh, well, did you know that a little boy's shit made it come to life?
Well, no. While they're talking about it, Evan's looking in through the window as a giant boy. You guys like that shit corn I made?
You're like, I'm doing good work. I can see everyone's having a good time in here.
This is great. Everybody wins in this situation.
This is such a more interesting book. Like, I really want to read this.
I'd say that next time, maybe next time here's a pitch. Maybe not the next time. This is just a pitch.
Let's hear it.
We will take a look at the Goosebumps cover, and then we'll write a short story. Not like just the pitch of what's going on.
Maybe just a log line, like a premise.
And we'll talk about it like this, because I mean that's much more interesting. To me, like, this is my favorite part of doing this show in this episode is talking about this.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, I don't want to bash the show or anything.
No, the show's great. It's these books are bad. That's what it is.
We should do it for It Came From Beneath the Sink. That's the next one we're gonna read. We should do a little pitch session.
Yeah, so we'll read and then we'll do maybe a pitch sesh. What do you say?
Yeah, we've been kind of skirting around doing this because we always like to end our episodes with like, how would you make the book better? So yeah, this is a great idea. I love this.
Okay, all right. No stories about a giant little boy shit though, because we
already wrote that.
We already wrote that one,
and it's a hit.
It's good.
Okay, all right. I think that's great. We should wrap up this podcast, I think.
Yeah, I think Monster Blood, the trilogy, the original trilogy, has been completed finally, and we can now move on with our lives. We've been just waiting for that to happen.
Evan was eaten by his own dog. The end.
I'm not looking forward to 4, but I am looking forward to see like what the explanation of how he got out of that situation was.
I think they just move on. I'm just going to take a wild guess. I think they completely abandon it. I think they just like that's a story now, and this is like somewhere else in a factory, a crazy scientist gets a can of monster blood. Like, I think they're just going to abandon it.
I think you might be right.
Just gonna guess that RL's like, I don't know what else to do with this. I'm bored.
I think he gets turned into dog shit, and then snails eat it, and then snails get super gross powers, and then they take over Evan's neighborhood.
I like this.
Oh, I shouldn't have spoiled my pitch. So yeah, thanks for listening to Goosebumps. I know what this show is called. And come back.
Please come back.
Thanks for. Please come back. We should plug other stuff. If you guys want to, follow the show, please clap. Remember that? Remember that was the highest moment of politics.
When the GOP was a harmless idiot. No, it wasn't harmless.
Please clap. You can follow us on Twitter at GoosebudsPod. You can email us at goosebuds@gmail.com.
You can follow us all on Twitter. Just type in our names in the internet. Type in Goosebuds, and then you'll get the full spelling of our names. And then just highlight them and hit search on Google, and then
you can follow our wonderful editor Kevin at Real Kevin Cole,
the real one.
By the way, is Hack still on sale? Is that going to be a thing?
Yeah, I think as long as this comes out in like the next week or two, it'll still be on sale. Hack, which is Kevin's game, very good, very fun game, and tough. You'll get your money's worth. It is on sale, 50% off. So go get it.
And that's on Steam, and it's HAQUE, right?
It's actually it is on sale on Steam, but get it on itch.io, which gives you a Steam key as well, and Kevin gets a bigger cut from that.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that'd be very nice.
I just wanted to spell out how to like go to Steam, Dom. I thought that was a really funny joke. Like, just like if you haven't heard of it,
I see. Yeah.
STEAM.
I mean, I've been doing that this whole episode, so that was the only time it was earnest. Because you know what, Kevin does a great job. Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin does a great job. Kevin, you gotta cut all this out, and then you can follow us on Patreon and get bonus access to exclusive episodes. We do Camp Goosebuds, where we talk about other stuff. At patreon.com/goosebuds. Your support means a lot to us, guys. It's really cool of you.
We love you.
Thank you for the supporting. I'm gonna just plug my website again.
Oh yes, please.
Comfyjunior.com. That's my store. That's where you can get some stuff. All the stuff I do, anything I do, t-shirts, postcards, buttons, and stuff like that. I put that there. You can get it. I ship it. It all comes from me. Include a message. I'll send you something extra if you include a message. But this is a bumper sticker that I'm making. I sent it to you guys.
Oh, I like that a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a bumper sticker that I'm making, and some other stuff. I got some other stuff.
Do you want to say what it says, just for people who are listening?
Yeah, you know what? It's on my Instagram, so it's the original drawing of it, but this is one that's close to getting ready to print here.
It's a "What You Reading" bumper sticker. I like it.
Yeah, if you saw it on my Instagram, it's a little guy, and he's like, "What you reading?" And he's cute.
I like that. That's really nice.
It fits with this show perfectly.
Yeah, it does. You know what? Maybe I'll make it a bookmark then, huh?
That's real smart. Wait, how about a boat? Well, here's the thing. I'll just be honest. A bumper sticker can be a bookmark if you don't take off the backing.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh,
Chad,
you're a genius. Chad, you're an innovator. It's crazy. I can't believe you're on this show with us when we have ideas like that.
I know. I'm really the coolest guy.
You're like a cool Kermit who doesn't like sexy dancing.
Thank you, boys. I think that's a show, guys.
Yeah, I think.
Well,
so.
what about Pretend Friends? Plug it all, guys. You hear it all.
Oh yeah,
the time.
Pretend
We're
Friends. Keep going.
You can.
Paul,
you haven't checked it out yet. Fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a great time to check it out because season 1 is done. You can listen to all of season 1. It's a complete story, and then season 2 is already underway, and it's a fantasy story. It's a little different.
And it's basically some role playing, some pen and paper,
some comedy role prov.
Yes, it's very role prov. It's very very improv based. There's very little gameplay elements. Like there is gameplay and mechanics, but they're in the background. It's all about the having fun and making silly shit up. So it's very very easy to listen to. Not a lot of time sitting around listening to people look up numbers and charts and stuff like that.
And this is the perfect time to check it out because this episode's almost over. And if you want to keep hanging out with Paul, Pretend Friends.
It's all right there before you.
You got friend of the podcast, Nika Harper, on right now. She's giggling all over the place.
Oh, it's the best. Nika has the best laugh ever.
It's a very joyous laugh. Pretty good time. Also, I'll just play this too. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's new episodes of Unikitty dropping all the time. I have no idea when. Just keep watching Cartoon Network. There's a bunch of really good episodes. I'm really proud of them. It's a silly little show, and I think they're making Unikitty Lego toys now, which I don't get any cut of. But I think it's cool. I think there's cool of toys made after episodes. I wrote that's really cool.
Little people that you made talk on the TV have become toys.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
And some child will probably choke on one of them and have a horrific death at one point. That's really cool.
That's really sad.
Kill a kid.
I could kill a kid. It's really sad.
Chad, your heart killed children. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Troll Hunter toys in the store the other day. By the way.
Oh yeah. Somewhere besides Target. I feel like Target's got an exclusive deal or something.
I saw them at Target. That's where I saw them.
You can go to Target. There's an ARG like money bank now. There's a sword pillow you can spoon. There's a lot of Troll Hunters merch. It's real cool.
It's cool.
You can go to Carl's Jr. and they had Troll Hunter toys, like a Happy Meal, but you got like a little 4-piece.
Did you go and
puzzle.
get one?
We got a bunch of them for free at work, so I just go. And then, like, I'll be honest, I was like, I don't actually need this. I have enough stuff in my life. But
you should have just went and got one to be like, I'm going to get a Happy Meal, and inside is a guy I made talk.
And it's like I did take the stickers. You got free Windows stickers. I was like, yeah, those are all over my place.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, no, it's a cool little thing. So check that stuff out. Guys, should we wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, I love you all.
Thanks for listening. That's how we wrap it up. As Chad just says, "I love you." Thanks.
Cut it there. Cut it
Chad
there.
loves you.
Kevin, cut it.
I love you all.
How do we wrap the show up, Chad? Profess your love for the.
Yeah. Do you have a problem with it? I'm just trying to show I love you.
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I love you all. Goodbye.
Fucking goodbye.
Chad's cool. He hates sexy dancing.
This episode is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon supporters. They include Asim Zaman,
Stefan Jive Turkey Kuwabara,
Indianapolis Meowmer Speedway,
Kale Clinton,
Slumlord Onion,
T Crabs,
Connor Church,
Walkin' Stick. Got it. Nice.
Andrew Sheriff,
Bex Moss.
Carewise Gamgee.
Timothy Cheney.
Toothless Barry the Whistler Bostowitz.
Nice. Rich Hilborn.
Bradford Coulter.
John Keaty.
Gabe Sphere.
Lendell Martin.
Aiden Dace.
Jonas Engman.
Dylan Vaughn.
Jin K.
Joe.
Gregory D. Warren.
Axel Rock.
Alan Saylor.
Mikey Jello.
James Roy.
Eric LeBaron.
Reed Stubbendick.
Divaldi.
Sam Z. Hash.
Chosen One.
Leopold the Rabbit.
Aw.
Matthew Reiger.
Heidi Shanks.
Adrian Gunter.
Hector Alberto Rivera Ortiz.
Nice. Cougar Kepomen.
Reinfected?
Gabe Chavez.
Heath Robinson.
Sludge McKenzie.
King Bank.
Andrew.
Ryan J. Navarro Cote.
Cam McLean.
Maddie.
Ethan Obama.
Calf. That's in all caps.
Sam Newton.
Cody Redfield.
Tyler Penner.
Matt Batchelor.
Ishak Arifin.
Randy Hernandez.
Amelia Crouch.
Will Vanderslice.
Trendy Moron.
Clay Castle.
Miguel Pardo.
Christina Doling.
Tara Jansen.
Macho Man. Nope, got it wrong. Macho Muffin Randy Savage.
First name, last name.
Luke Noodles.
Just a pretty good dog overall.
Jonas Blatterman.
Yeah. Chris Mazu.
Roberto Rodriguez. Sorry, I thought it was the director.
Shifty Swamps.
Third Sergio.
Patrick.
Tom.
Aaron watching you sleep Dom Cole.
Ooh.
Watching you sleep, Dom. I think that's what that says there.
Yeah, watching you sleep.
I'm okay.
I couldn't say the whole threat to you myself. I felt too awkward. So.
I understand.
Yeah.
I'm streaming. Follow me.
The Dragon Llama.
Jake Young.
Jason Crooker.
Yes. I just wanted to get in on that one.
No, it's good that we both.
Patrick Reynolds.
Scott Colopy.
Trent Davis.
Jacob Rakier.
Ya best pal.
The Mantis. Do like a hissing noise for the end of Mantis Eye.
That was an extra note there. Robert Moon.
Stealth Bates.
Ryan Melfi.
Logan Troiano.
Gettysburg.
Michael Knight.
Zenticles.
Drew Applegate.
Silo.
Alistair Perez.
Brian Wells.
Victor.
Becca McWilliams.
Doo-doo butt. Dr. Doo-doo butt.
There it is. Zambambino.
Sven Stormbeard.
Ben Bohan.
Psycho Master 1.
Oh, Carly Sarnowski.
Vincent Modica.
Aaron T. Strunk.
Chris Culver.
Stephen Ghost Kisser Daniels.
Ew. John Jimko.
Brandon Rowdenbush.
Jennifer Britton.
Asheen Matalib.
Bean Daddy Spook Boy.
A Danky McStanky.
Low Belly's Tears.
YT Chan.
Matt Flanagan.
Jubs.
The Rupel Productions.
Joshua Lopez.
Martin A. Gracias.
Daniel Calias.
Jim Greaves.
John Luke.
Natu Peril Henderson.
Christopher Boyce.
Hollis Hornbeak.
Turtle Manta.
Walter Frazier.
Cameron Murphy Audio.
Paul Grasso.
Ben, it's pronounced Beeler.
Michael McDowell.
David Cron.
Zank Keith. Oh, good God. Oh, no.
Chad is a smelly butt face. You know, I'm not saying that, Chad. That's what it says there.
Ryan Kolka. Dude, come on, man. This is a positive place. Thank you for your patronage. That's fine. Who's next?
You.
Oh, Joshua P. Robertson.
Tim I. Healy,
David Cole,
Mickey C,
Dappy Ow,
Jared Mason,
Kevin Boucher,
Taylor Dierks,
Matt Sadler,
Nick Hinkle,
Brian Furniton,
Fred Atkins,
Nathan Dozal,
Clayton C.,
Michael Ann Terry,
Kyla Tharp,
Buddy Morrill,
Chris Birch,
and Joe. Hope y'all have a nice day, Scott. Thank you all so very much.
I hope Joe's always the last one, because it's nice to be told to have a good day at the end.
Yeah, Joe. Or now there's a lot
it's
of power.
good for everybody.
There's a lot of
It's
power
good for
and
everybody.
responsibility there, Joe. No pressure.
I want to say we thank you guys, and I just want to say I love that this has just become a game of making us say funny things.
Yeah, no, it's great. No,
Yeah.
totally. You give us power.
It's exciting. Yes, we give you power, and it's fun.
It's symbiotic. It's a symbiotic
yeah.
power-giving relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya. The most awkward ending.